We're in South Texas, hunting deer in the rut in late December, and it's awesome. Already saw a wide big buck, and he kind of caught us. He didn't catch us, but we saw him when we were not in cover, and then a white-tailed doe just worked her way down right between us and him, and things just got kind of weird. It's the first evening, so I'm still like kind of learning the land and what the deer are doing. There's some thick cover out there at the end of that thing. That's a deer over there. He went through our wind of it. He's got a floppy ear. Man. That's a missed opportunity. He's following those does. I just didn't think that he would be that far behind him, so I thought there wasn't one. I was wrong. There's a couple deer over there. Buck. Very big buck. You see him? Gosh, it's 4 bucks that we just saw right here. Out here in South Texas, there's deer around everywhere. But, you know, you kind of want to be in a high concentration. We probably wind bumped this group of does. I caught a glimpse of them, stepped back and looked, and they weren't there. 5 minutes later, here's a buck, a good buck, standing there like 45 probably, maybe even closer. I never ranged him, but I didn't even try to do anything at that point because he was looking at us. He wasn't scared, but he was on alert. I called at him some, he didn't care. He was limping, had a droopy ear, and was after those does, so he didn't want to come to me. So I was like, well, might as well come up here on top, see if there's any deer around. Boy, was there deer. We just blew out bucks and does all over the place. I don't even know how many, but one of them was a really, really big one, maybe 2. Here we are wrapping up the final minutes of shooting light, just talking in a normal voice because there's no deer right here. And now we just have to come up with a plan for the morning when my morale is kind of low. I love it down here because there's so many deer. It's cool. It's Texas. There's cactus everywhere, you know, Mexican food, all that. But it's actually really, really hard. That's a buck. Is that him? Or is that a different one? It looks like him. He's raking that bush because he's mad at that spike. That's cool. He's just like keeping her at bay. He's pretty nice. this looks like. Like just a nice looking 8-point, which is a phrase we say a lot. Oh, we got some chase going on now. Golly, what is happening? He is pretty nice. Dang, that's cool. Oh, there's another buck. It might be kind of nice back in there, right behind him. Oh, it's like a 2-year-old. So we've seen a spike, a 2-year-old, and a mature buck. Get him, buddy. Run him off. Get her. Get her. Okay, they just ran over the hill. We found us some deer. Oh, the way he's looking right now. He's doing the thing. The rut thing's going down over there. Think about it. Come over here. What? Oh, there's a bigger bucky in that group of deer. Yeah, he's towed. Come on over, dog. Why are they? Why's that group of bucks together? Yeah, he's a big wide buck. Come on over, buddy. He might want to come do it. Come on, dude. Man, he's walking right straight at us right now. Brush country monsters. about near convinced that that buck was headed to us. I mean, he just appeared with those other bucks kind of out of nowhere, like he was bedded or doing something different. And about near walked straight to us. Then we lost him in the ditch. Never saw him again. I think there's just a lot of deer down in that hole right now. And it makes sense with the east wind. We're going to try to use the cover, get up there and get where we can see. But we do have 3 does on the hill over here. And a deer, we don't know what it is. We're going to kind of see what they do first. But then we'll get up and get aggressive. Just been making a bunch of wrong choices. When that deer disappeared out of sight, it was like right here somewhere. And he was going to go down. And I didn't almost do it, but the thought crossed my mind that I should run down the hill and kind of cut him off. But I decided to play the conservative route and just assume he was going to come to where he heard the sound. And he either looked up, got our wind, or he just cruised this edge, which is what I really think he did. Which, that means we're not out of the game on that deer yet, but we're not as in as we were. There should be bucks on their feet all day today. We just gotta find them. We're set up on the edge of really thick cover. It's right along this edge that we can see. I'm going to just shot right here at a nice buck. 20 yards, which would be ideal. This setup is good, man. Me. Still right over there, I think. Yeah. Ridiculous. Was he looking at us as soon as you saw him? I heard the sound, and I looked back to see if it was you making the noise, and then you were like, buck, 15 yards. That buck was sub 10 yards. We set up just too close to his trail. I thought that could happen, but just that kind of stuff never usually does happen. The whole concept behind our sitting here is that we're going to sit on the edge of this hill. We got kind of a pretty steep cliff behind us, and bucks are going to cruise this, scent checking everything. Well, sure enough, that's exactly what that buck did. But he surprised us. I think I hear a sound as I look back to see if Michael was messing with the camera, and he says, buck, right here, which is my favorite response. And he says 15 yards, and I know that that means freeze. And at that point in time, it's too late when the deer starts to move. He comes to 9 yards pretty much, and just looks at us for what seems like an eternity. It's probably 10 seconds. And he went from like curious to spooked. And he just went right over there to about 100 yards and just stood there, blew a couple times and left. Really stinks to about like your setups and actually figure out something that does work and then just mess it up. But now I'm gonna just bank on the fact that these deer are gonna be moving, and there's a lot of them. They're out here. This is the same place that we had the ridiculously close encounter. There's been some pressure in this area, but I think this is just a thing that deer are going to do. And I'm a lot more keyed up this morning, and I know where they're going to come from. And I've got myself set up to be able to see them sooner, because that's the whole thing. The deer just surprised us, and we're not ready. Also, we've got a lot of wind cover, which will help a ton with getting my bow up and getting ready to shoot. This morning, we should have a deer do that. It's a big buck. So that's it. Come on, get a shot. Meep. Gonna be our opportunity for this spot this morning, and it almost went perfect. From when I saw him to whenever he got in range, it was probably an hour. I mean, he's just the slowest walking deer ever, and that essentially is what kind of ruined the opportunity for us. I did my best, and you can always second guess things, but I don't know if I would do it a lot different than that if I had another opportunity. You just couldn't predict whenever he was going to actually present a shot. So I essentially had to wait until he came into the opening before I could try to draw. He poked his head out, came into my gap, and we had wind. He wasn't looking. I was like, okay, I'm just going to start trying to draw. And I didn't even have to move my bow very much. I just kind of did this and got about a tenth of the way back, and he just looked. And I was kind of ready for that whole, like, look away, look back thing. He did that, got away with it, and then he started to go back to start eating again, so I started to try to draw again, and he looked at us that time, and from there, it was pretty much over. He just knew we were here. They're just good at it, better at it than we are. But yeah, that kind of does in our morning, and down here does in my hunting. Down here, it's a cool place, and it's like it gets to you trying to get close to these deer. You just got to keep trying, and one of these days it's going to work out. So.